Hello, and welcome back to Urban Yoke. My name is Giulia, and it's a delight to have you here. So, around 4 or 5 months ago, I decided to try this format, and I was really excited about it. And then, life happened, and I just never got round to making the next video. And part of life happening was embracing change, and then I broke my phone. Not something I usually do, so it was very upsetting, but probably a good thing in the long run. The phone was about 8 years old, so probably needed to move on. And it got me thinking about actually just embracing change, embracing challenges, embracing the obstacles that come. And that's what I wanted to talk about today, was how I have decided to move on with embracing change. Because I would say that in general, over my life, I have been mostly adaptable, and I am very compassionate, I'm very sympathetic, and above all very empathetic, and it allows me to kind of see things from a different perspective. I'm also an eternal optimist, and that has had its downfalls, but for the most part it's gotten me through a lot, like getting diagnosed with syringomyelia. My optimism even shocked the doctor at diagnosis. When he gave me the official diagnosis, he was just like, how can you be so okay with this? The truth is, I'm not really okay with it. It's not that I'm okay in the moment. It's that I would rather see the positive side and focus on that and move in a direction that is positive. But the past few years, that's been very difficult for me. I'm not used to these kinds of feelings and having intense negativity around me. But that's it. With this experience, I was able to realize and understand why I have become the way that I have, why I'm feeling those negative emotions, and to a large degree, why I use being understanding as a coping mechanism. It is my humor, I suppose, what a lot of people do. And though the coping mechanism has served me well, it is now time to acknowledge my other emotions. And part of that is embracing the change that comes from within and the change from without. It's led me down an interesting path where I am now watching and looking and understanding how people view the world in a different way, a different understanding of what the world has to offer. And recently, I experienced changes in very close relationships to me. I have also now experienced a change in my relationship with my condition, because that is an ongoing relationship. And I've decided to let go of the grieving, to let go of the negativity, to move past this constant drain, this pulling down, this spiral into nothingness. I don't think that it's healthy. The what ifs, the shoulda, coulda, wouldas, it doesn't help anyone. Sure, acknowledge what could have been, acknowledge mistakes, but move on. Acknowledgement is all they deserve, all they need. Focus on what is, focus on the future. And that's really what this is about. I've been so focused recently on the difficulties, the obstacles, and the negative changes in relationships, and looking at other relationships and looking at other situations that are not really that significant. some significance, but not enough for me to be obsessing in this way. And so change is the way forward, right? And though people say that change is as good as a holiday, I just don't feel it. Change is better than a holiday. Change is harder than a holiday. A holiday is a break from the truth. It is a break from reality. It is a break from seeing what is. Change is taking a step back and acknowledging that truth and seeing it for what it truly is and making a difference. Deciding, okay, I'm just going to stay here because change is too difficult, or I'm going to push through this barrier and I'm going to truly change. I am going to make a difference in my life. That's where I'm at. I'm taking a step outside and seeing what is in front of me and realizing that I have an amazing family and I love my family. My family is not just the 3 of us, but it's also the 6 cats. This is my nucleus. This is my focus. And this is the future. This is the change that I should be putting my efforts into, my resources into, my energy into. And stop wasting away thinking about the what ifs, the coulda, shoulda, wouldas, and the why nots. Break away from the thought of, am I good enough? Because the truth is, it doesn't actually matter if someone else thinks I'm good enough. The people that matter think I'm good enough. And I am good enough. And I think it's the best way to actually embrace change is to truly face these aspects of ourselves. Just a quick break. There's Sifu. Shame, she had 2 cysts removed from her eye. That's why her one eye looks the way that it does. Poor thing. But yes, I mean, that's also a change, right? She had to adapt when she had these cysts removed from her eye. And yeah, you know, like watching Sifu going through this and dealing with it and not being able to explain to her what's happening, but she's just got to trust that we're doing the best for her. It's a different kind of relationship, showing you are trustworthy, you are reliable. Because words can be false. It's easy to say, especially if you feel it in the moment, but you don't actually want to act upon those feelings, or you don't truly understand how to act upon those feelings. This is where embracing change is important. That said, I have also been looking at the world in a different perspective, as I said before, and that different perspective has a lot to do, thank you, phone. That different perspective has a lot to do with realizing that people want us, they want us around. Most people want us around for a specific reason, and when we change, when we adapt, when we grow, when we embrace being something better, they are challenged, they are hurt, they are unfocused, they retaliate. And we like to say, you know, oh, friends come and go, and that's just the way that the world is. Sure, people come and go out of our lives, and that's the way the world is. But why do it with so much hatred? Why do it with so much disdain for what someone else wants to do with their life? Why can we not see the person? See the beauty that they want to bring to the world, see the talent, see the joy, see the passion that they hold deep within themselves. Why do we want to squeeze so many of us into these boxes? Squeeze us into these pre-designed molds that society decides that we fit. I mean, is it not obvious that that does not work? Sure, it is good to have some cooperation, but why should my form of cooperation be the same as your form of cooperation? Why can we not cooperate in different ways and appreciate each other, admire each other for what we bring to the table, instead of saying, yes, you're creative, but only be creative enough to do what I need you to do. Do anything beyond that, you're either crazy or marked as a genius because somebody thought that you were. Why can you not create just to create? Being creative is not just about releasing some other emotion or having some agony that you need to, get out into the world in a way that makes you feel profound. Creativity has a lot to do with practicality as well. And it is a vessel for embracing change, for reflection, for moving forward, for making a statement. Creativity is a natural part of who we are as human beings, and some more than others, but creativity exists everywhere. Even the mathematician that finds the solution is not finding the solution by being rigid. It's finding the solution by thinking outside the box, by seeing principles, by understanding certain aspects and being able to relay them to different aspects of life. It is simply another way of understanding the world. Some do it through stories, some do it through pictures, some do it through vicarious living. So my question is rather, why can we not love each other for who we are? Why do we have to look at change as something where we need to fit in? We make mistakes. Some are big, some are small. We take risks. We make good choices. It's all part of the flow. And by making someone feel bad for their choices, you're not helping the situation. Granted, there are cases where the person makes a decision that truly hurts you, and that is absolutely valid. But to reciprocate with revenge, an eye for an eye, eventually there are no eyes left. And we're just blinded, feeling our way through the darkness that we created. So, yes, change is good as a holiday? I think not. In case you're wondering, those are the church bells. In our village, we live across the piazza, across the square from the church, and today is Sunday and they just ended mass. And then recently got a new priest in. He's quite young, and he's very focused on making a mark, so the bells go a little crazier than one is used to. But it's kind of apt thinking about the change. And I'm tired of fitting in that box. I'm tired of making myself fit in that box. I don't belong. But I know where I belong. And I've got a very good idea of how I want to go about being where I belong, doing what I know will both make me happy, bring me joy, and allow me to leave a legacy that I am proud of for my daughter. A place where I can help, where I can be better, where I can make a difference. It scares the hell out of me. I am terrified. But I'm more terrified of what will become of me and my family if we do nothing. The constant cycle that I've been stuck in for over 30 years has come to an end. I see my condition for what it is. I'm finally starting to accept that there's nothing that can be done. I have spent a lifetime chasing a cure, chasing treatment, chasing an understanding that does not exist. Now it's time to let go. It's time to take off the shackles, break the bonds, and replace them with new ones, with healthy ones, with ones that will help me float and soar above, not ones that keep me down, stuck in the mud. You might be thinking this is some intense thoughts, intense thought processes going on. Well, they are. But this is what I think of. This is the things that I reflect on while I'm cooking, and it's one of the reasons I love cooking so much. It's a time of quiet. It's a time of reflection. It's a time to create something that not only nourishes you as a person, as a physical person, but it also nourishes what is often referred to as the soul. It nourishes our spiritual essence, and it also allows us to bring something beautiful to the people that we love. And for me, it's the most honest way to say, I love you. I see you. I have prepared something for you. And it's a beautiful thought. And these are the changes, these are the things that I want to focus on most. And I want to inspire you to take a hard look at your life and decide what it is that you want to change. Where do you want to improve? And then ask yourself, how can you get there safely? Because just ripping the band-aid off is not always the right answer either. Sometimes it takes a hot second of reflection before you actually know the way forward. Even now, I'm not entirely sure of our way forward. But each passing day it becomes clearer and clearer. It's easier to let go. It's easier to know who I actually am. Well, let me refrain. Not to know who I am, because I know, but easier to let that person out, to be that person entirely. And I hope that you can be that person too, for yourself. So here's to saying goodbye to all the bullshit, and hello to a future of beautiful things, unknown challenges, but everything that I am willing to put my full heart into, because this is the change that matters, the one right here in front of me. And well, that's it for this little rant on embracing change. If you've got anything to say, you know where the comments are. And if you actually want to make this a roast chicken salad, I will leave a link to the recipe, but remember, cooking is your canvas. Do as you please. Take the bits that you like and make your own. Food is exactly that, something to be enjoyed. But I will leave a link. Do leave a like if you enjoyed this little rant on embracing change. And I will see you in the next video. Ciao.